since Fridays, we kind of unofficially end the show with the Bill Squire Friday Get Down, courtesy of Cleveland Whiskey. Gata. And I'll tell you what, it is, boy, this started as a bit of a larf in 2018, right? That was the WMMS 50th anniversary year.
Correct.
And we would do it from time to time. But now, by overwhelming customer demand, every Friday we end with the Bill Squire Friday Get Down. It was actually, as much as the two of you bicker, it was actually Mary who implored me to continue the Friday Get Down when I was all set to just kind of put it back where it resided in the legacy of the late, great Murray Saul. But, boy, I'll never forget it. Mary asked if she could speak to me privately, and I was like, concerned, is everything okay? And what led to my increasing concern, which was a single tear began to drop from her eye. Now, if you're a regular listener to the show, you know it's not that unusual for Mary to get emotional, and yes, sometimes even eject some salty discharge from her eyes.
Nectar.
Ocular nectar is what I like to call it.
Ocular Nectar's playing at the Agora this weekend.
And she said, please, whatever you do, don't let Bill stop doing the Friday Get Down. And it was cute, Bill, because she kind of tried to emulate it. She goes, you've got to make him keep doing that.
Yeah,
I go, I see what you're doing
I would
here.
like to hear her do it.
I said, I see what you're doing here. Now, could you leave the bathroom and let me continue what I'm doing? And, of course, she did.
I didn't open the stall. I felt it was still professional.
No, but sticking your head underneath the door.
But I didn't open it.
It's still...
It was still shut and locked.
It still threw me off.
What the problem is.
I can only imagine the horror at your angle at that particular day.
It was all
you know,
right.
I had the 5-alarm chili.
I've seen better.
So
I've had better bathroom meetings.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. You guys have a couch in yours.
Couch,
little
hair
settee,
dryer,
a little fainting couch if somebody goes down for the count.
A masseur.
Yeah.
You guys have a hair dryer?
And a masseur.
Equality.
Right.
That's why you guys make 77 cents on a dollar, because you got all those amenities.
Because we get free massages. Yeah.
You didn't hear that the masseur has been delocated?
I did not.
Was it dislocated?
Dislocated.
Like a shoulder.
Yeah, pop it back in.
Sure. All right. Hey, your Cavaliers are in Memphis tonight. Oh, the barbecue. Anyway, they can play the Grizzlies at 8 o'clock tonight. Pau Gasol and the Memphis Grizzlies.
Nope, we just went over this.
Saugapal.
Abdul Shaheem Rahif. Who is it? No?
Ja Morant.
Ja Rule and the Memphis Grizzlies.
That's how he bounced back from Fire Festival. Started playing ball.
Anyway, it's an 8 o'clock game tonight here on MMS. Your FM home for Cleveland Cavaliers basketball, and also your FM home for Cleveland Indians baseball.
Whoa!
And they've announced the spring training broadcast schedule. The spring training opener is February 22nd. They will play the Cincinnati Reds.
2020.
February 22nd of this year, yes. It's a Saturday. That'll be a 3:05 first pitch. From Goodyear here on MMS. I am hoping that we will continue our tradition of doing a live show downtown for the home opener, which is March the 26th against the Tigers of Detroit. We're going to that game. I certainly hope that we'll have a live show to do.
Yes.
It will be a short show if we do, because LeBron and the Cavs are in town that night. So they pushed the Tribe game to early afternoon.
LeBron and the Lakers and the Cavs.
I'm sorry. LeBron and the... You're right.
The Cavs are in town and LeBron's in town, but
It's
he's not on the Cavs.
It's still stuck in my brain.
Yeah.
LeBron and the Cavs. LeBron and the Lakers will be in town to play the Cavaliers. So if you're looking forward, and I certainly am, to Cleveland Indians baseball, the spring training opener is February the 22nd.
Can I give you an accolade?
Me?
Yeah. A thank you for allowing me to be on the show, because we went to trivia last night, my sister and my soon-to-be brother-in-law, and the theme was 2019. And it was all like weird news stories and things like that they would get. And I knew so many things because
Because we talk about him
because
here?
we would talk about him on the show. Or like the one that made me laugh is that it was a multiple choice question, but it was about like which they named the woman and then like she died in 2019 and which Sesame Street character did she play? And I was like, I specifically remember you playing your death music and then just going, Big Bird died. Just like that. And I answered it so quick and they're like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm positive. Like Big Bird wasn't a woman. I'm like, no, I remember Alan.
No, it's a man.
Being so...
Man with a woman's name.
Yeah.
Carol was the
Carol.
name.
Yeah,
Carol.
whatever it was. I was like, I know for a fact because I remember Alan playing his sad music and then so much. Just, Big Bird died. Just like that.
Carol Spinney or Spiny or something
like that. Yeah.
Right.
But there were so many things where I would connect it in some weird AC, what is that? What's that movie? Slumdog Millionaire way, where I was like, no, this is the day that Bill and I yelled at each other, and I
that
know
doesn't narrow
that
it down.
I know, but
Could we go with A Beautiful Mind for connecting the various threads?
it was
Okay,
great,
well,
though.
good. Did you end up winning?
We came in fourth.
Fourth?
We were in second the whole time, and
Hey,
then
Well, then I didn't
you
help.
helped her
Hold on.
come in fourth.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Listen.
I didn't help you at all.
we were in second the whole time, and then there's a round where if you answer incorrectly, you lose points, and we kind of biffed it on that round.
Are you
which
trying to
what are you
say
gonna
that
do?
your
But
teammates were dragging you down?
they might have been.
What were the questions that you got wrong?
It was a picture round. So the way that it's all
we
you
work in
download
an
an
audio
app.
medium.
Right. Either you download an app and then they show you a picture and then you have to like answer, and the quicker you answer, blah blah blah. But if you answer it incorrectly, then you lose points. That's
When
the
did
only
trivia
round.
night become so many hoops to jump through?
Oh no, it's great.
You just get a guy on a
It's
stage
great.
asking questions.
The way that they do it, you download this app and it's all done from your phone. You have to connect to their Wi-Fi, so you can't go on the internet.
Oh, it's not a host on a mic.
It is, but
Well,
you
then what do you need
answer
him
the
for?
you answer the questions on your phone
Well, then what do you need him for?
for to ask the questions.
It's like when you go to B-Dubs and they have the trivia on the screens, and then
Yeah.
you've got the things at the table. Mm-hmm. That's
No,
what
it's still really fun, and I actually don't prefer it to like walking up, but if you're connected to that Wi-Fi, you can't get on the internet, so it's in it.
So then, what
you
does the
can't
host?
cheat? You can't
Then
do
what
anything.
does the host literally do?
He asks the questions and keeps the points and announces it.
But isn't the question on the app?
No, the app is just for answers. Instead of writing it on a piece of paper and taking it up to the host,
I see.
it automatically
I
answers
see.
it, and then it automatically keeps score and everything like that.
So that person asks the questions.
Yes. But either way, I knew a lot of the answers thanks to the show.
Okay. Well, I can't take credit for that. I mean, I guess I can.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
the show
I
as
put
a
the
whole.
show
You can
together.
Yeah.
take credit for fourth place.
Take my fourth place credit.
Okay, I'll take that. Boy, I've never been fourth place before, Bill. So strange,
Yeah.
Oh,
if you
my
ain't fourth,
goodness.
you're last,
Boy, if you're second, you're last. Nobody wants that.
How many teams were there?
Oh, like 30.
Oh, wow.
Three.
Yeah, there was a lot. Yeah, we came in fourth of three.
3 teams.
Fourth of three. We got dislocated from the competition.
From success.
And then we were playing pool
Victory.
afterward, and this is something that bothers me. There were two guys. No. There were two guys on a pool table, and we went up and we're like, "Hey, do you guys want to play doubles after this? Like, put a quarter down and we'll play pool."
But they were playing. They weren't on a pool table.
They were
doing
standing
like a
on the
photo
pool
shoot or
table,
anything.
pool table, playing with each other.
Yeah, right.
So we were like, "We want in on this. Here's
Right.
a quarter for goodwill."
It was the divorce guy and his soon-to-be ex-wife fighting with pool cues.
Yes, they were
Trial by
fencing.
contest or whatever. It is.
Battle.
Yeah.
Combat.
Trial by combat.
And they were so condescending and terrible. And they were just like, we're on a league, so this is our league play. And then they like got like really, really mean. And they kept like coming over to. So we went up. We're like, fine, we'll just go on the other pool table. And then they kept like rolling their eyes at us and like audibly talking smack, like if we were in their way. Like,
Yeah,
we're
but-
on a league. Like, this is our league
That's
play.
all they have is
I
their
understand,
pool
but you don't
league.
have to be so nasty to
If
everyone
you
around
are in
you.
a league and that's all you have, then you're going to be
They were
terrible.
so nasty.
Was
like,
it an all-guy team?
It was two guys playing each other. It was a one-on-one. It was just two guys.
Oh, they were practicing for their
I don't
league
even
or something?
know. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. I'm like, this can't be a league. It's only two of you.
Well, they
why-
were probably practicing for their next big match.
What were you doing?
We were playing on the other pool table, so like,
But were you making fun of them back?
not at all.
Why
it
not?
would be. It would be.
That would be the
things-
best thing to do.
It would be things where like I would be lining up a shot and the guy would be behind me like with his arms folded like annoyed that I was also playing pool because he had to wait for me to take my shot, kind of a thing. And I'm like, I get it. And like you said, I get it. This
Well,
is all
then-
these guys have. But
Right,
you
but
don't
then-
have to be so mean to people.
Yes, but if they're going to be that, like, that's where I would just start pushing their buttons and, like, take longer and be like, well, this is not a league shot,
Yeah.
but,
But
I'm going to
hold
give it
on.
my best. I know you guys are in a league, so you guys would probably do better than me right now.
Right.
But I'm not in a league. I
Yeah.
have friends and family. So I'm just going to play
We were
this
playing
game
this
for fun.
Yeah, we
the
were
way
just
you play
playing
pool.
for fun. Right. In
Yes.
a bar.
In a
at
bar
that.
where there's 2 tables
Exactly.
where it's a fun thing to do.
Just so rude. Like the one guy, there
I would
was
totally troll him.
another group of people came up on the table we were playing at, and they're like, they asked us, "Do you want to play double?" We're sure, no problem. The one guy accidentally grabbed the other guy, the one guy from our team, accidentally grabbed the league guy's pool stick. Guy walked
It's a cue.
over.
And if
pool
you're in a
cue. I
league, it's in a
apologize. I
pool
apologize.
cue.
Pool
Get your
cue.
hand
It's not
off
a
my
pool
cue.
stick.
Do you start chalking his tip?
He didn't say a word. He walked over to him with his like finger pointed at him and like started like open palm, like come over here kind of. He was like,
Were these
and
older
then
guys or younger guys?
These are like
or-
in their probably late 40s, early 50s, I'd say.
So my age. So
Yeah.
super young guys.
Super young guys. But the dude like did that thing like come over here with his hand and then just snatched the pool cue out of his hand and was like, "This is mine," and like walked back to his table. We're like,
Now, was it actually like one that he brought from home?
I had no idea. I didn't know it was an issue. I'm assuming if you're going to be playing in a league and he differentiated it from the other one, so I'm guessing it might have been his. But the kid didn't know. You're going to put your however expensive pool cue next to all the bar ones and someone grabs it. How are you going to get mad about that? You know what I mean?
Well, the thing with people who are really annoying about pool is that they consider themselves akin to scientists. Because they're like doing geometry and they've got these moves and they're putting a little English on it or whatever. It's like, okay, that's fine if you want to spend all. Pool's a fun game.
Yeah.
But like, don't piss all over everybody else who's trying to just play. You know.
They were just
I wish
so
I was
elite.
there.
They were so elite about it. They were so just like, "Ugh, these peasants in our bar while we're on a league," and we're
Yeah.
just like, dude,
you're-
chill
but
If you're
out.
so
that's-
good at pool, buy your own table and play at home, you losers.
Right.
But that's also the point. You were all in the same bar.
Right.
So the plebes, you guys, were hanging out.
And we were there for trivia night.
With the
so then we're
Brahmin.
like, oh, we'll just go play pool after trivia. You know what I mean? It was just, I don't understand why people get like that.
What you should have done is tried to rebuff them from your trivia night. I'm sorry. The answer is Big Bird.
Big Bird died.
Big Bird
Okay.
died. All right.
Right.
Yeah. All
I
right.
just
Well.
wanted to vent about that a little bit because it's annoying. And I understand, like, if you're on a league or whatever, but mostly just don't be a douche.
You should have feigned interest in their league. Should have been like, oh my God, what's it called? You know what? I've been thinking. You get them to just like talk about what they desperately want to talk about, which is how awesome they are at pool. And they just go,
Were they
cool.
even awesome at it?
I was actively trying not to look at them because everything they did made me mad.
You get so worked up.
You should
Because
have
I
sent
don't
them a
like it
drink.
when people are douche.
I don't either, but that's when you lean into them and make them realize they're being douches.
Yeah, I guess. I was just so annoyed with everything about them and their body language and the way that they were like just
Then you start mimicking them, and
I
then they get
guess.
even more upset, and then they get worse at pool. You know how I learned that? Doing it to you.
I know, right?
Someone that takes pool seriously,
I don't even
it's
really
fun
take
to
it
troll.
seriously anymore, to be honest with you. It's just a fun thing.
I cured you.
It was it was just more of my personality when I didn't have one. You
Yeah.
know, that's something I did while I drank, and I was like, oh yeah, this is my thing.
You had a billiards-based personality. Yeah. And if that's not enough for you, I'm also a huge fan of The Office. Perhaps you've heard of it.
Listen, I'm
And I like
terrible. Oh my
tacos.
God. I understand. I'm a terrible human. Okay.
I don't mean that. I just think it's funny. It's like stuff you
I'm
would see on
working on
somebody's
it.
dating profile, you know.
I'm working on it.
You know, when I dig into the Chrissy's Instagram hotties that Bill lovingly curates for AlanCoxShow.com, they'll take you to their Instagram profile, obviously. And it's just, I've mentioned it before, but I still love it. It's just pictures of just everything covered but the nipple, right? And they're like, but the caption never
Yep.
has anything.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to say about that? You know, I don't even know why they caption them. Why do they caption them? Just, you know, do the booby pics or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's always like, this was right before I smashed a bag of Doritos.
It
Like,
wasn't.
no, you didn't. And
It
you
wasn't.
You didn't eat a cheeseburger, and you didn't. And that's fine. You've earned the way you look, partially. You paid for some of it, but whatever. The rest of it, you got to work on it, right? Gains all day, baby. But the whole, you know, which do you like more, cake or pizza? I can never decide. It's like, stop
I got a real
it.
sweet tooth.
Yeah, I don't need that. Like, I genuinely don't need that. Just the photo is great. Nobody's coming here for your thoughts on, you know, on monetary policy.
Right.
They're not.
I ate a whole bag of those sugar-free gummy bears and had terrible diarrhea. I like my post.
Can't you see it in my abs?
How do you like my diarrhea abs?
That's the worst.
And
Well,
what I hate even more is like the hot girls that do like they try and do sketches. Like I saw this one yesterday. It was so bad. It's so corny. Like when your brother comes over and none of his friends are hot, and it's these other dudes that are dressed up like nerds would be dressed in like a kid show in the 80s with like the spinny hat and
Like
crap
glasses
like that.
with tape on
yeah,
them.
and they're like all also Instagram models. Like so. They're like, oh, you guys are all nerds. Like, come on.
There's two.
Just be hot and shut up.
You're cosplaying as a nerd.
I matched with a dude on a dating app last year, and super hot, and like, but he was so arrogant. Like in his profile, it was like, "Yes, I'm real, LOL. Never on here. Check my Instagram." So it's his Instagram, and he has like terrible sketches, and I was like watching it. It's just him in front of a camera, and I'm like,
Do you guys go out?
"This no,"
Why not?
because it was awful. It was so
Yeah,
bad.
But
you
he's so
bang on
real.
funny guys all the time.
Yeah, but no. Also no. It was, it was so bad, and now it's just one of those things where I'm like, just be hot. You can just be hot. You don't have to be hot and funny. You can just be.
Well, he's not hot and funny. He's hot and uncomfortable.
But he's trying to be funny.
Yeah.
They're trying to be funny and like in that like jump cut type of thing,
Oh,
and
it's
it's
the
all
worst,
the timing's off,
Listen,
and it's.
I appreciate people who are trying to be funny.
Do you?
I do, because listen, it's not up to me whether or not you knock it out of the park. I don't always, but I'd rather have somebody trying to be funny than being a douchebag. Like, I know humor is subjective and all that, but like, we could use a little bit more of people trying to make other people laugh.
I guess,
What's the matter with that?
I guess
don't
it's
know.
being judgmental. Okay, yes.
Have you ever been on a date and then find out like 10, 15 minutes into the date that it's a pyramid scheme? Because that legit happened to me.
Cody, I really think this is going somewhere. Have you ever heard of Amway?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Like
I'm sorry, Poundcake. It's a multi-level marketing campaign. All right.
I mean, on one side, like
His his trunk's full of Lululemon tights.
half of me was offended, and then the other side was like,
Yeah, I could sell some knives.
I was
I
like,
do need a secondary income.
I admired his hustle. I was like, wow, he went on a date with a gay guy, a high-profile gay guy. I mean, you know,
Yeah, we know who you are.
I'm just saying, but like,
What was he selling?
I don't remember because I was so shocked because he kept making references. I'm like, oh my gosh, I scored. I was like, he's straight acting. Like I just assumed he was gay because he was talking to me.
That's a
and he
long
asked
way
me
to
out.
go to try to
That's a long way
get
to go.
somebody in your downline.
And that's what I'm saying. And he was smart because he knew that I would fall for it because he knew he was hot and he knew that he was straight acting and hook, line, and sinker. There you go. You find me. And if he,
so
hooked
funny.
me, then he thought, oh, I have followers on Instagram. I got a show. I'm on the radio
That's
every
so
day.
funny.
So he thought he was going to be like, oh, well, the more he makes, the more I make. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, wow, he's paying for the, like, true gentleman. Pulled out my chair. I was like, this almost seems too good to be true. I almost think you're a pyramid scheme. He was like, well, actually,
Multi-level marketing.
Goodness.
and then I don't know what it was, some formula. He's like, yeah, you really, because I was like, he was ripped. I was like, oh my God, how often do you get in the gym? And he's just
It's
like,
funny you should mention that. Not as often as you'd think, because it's about recovery, not about how often you're in the
it wasn't.
And with this protein shake,
I
your
think
muscles
it was.
will repair.
It was the stuff that the soccer players use. It was some type of
The
supplement.
fart shakes.
No, it's like
Oh.
green something. I forget what it was, but it was some type of supplement. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me.
Oh man.
And so,
That's
I
like,
don't even know what I would do. I
That's
don't
so
even know what
funny.
I would do if someone started to pitch me something in the middle of it. I'd be like, for real?
but like, I was like,
I don't know,
he's.
you might fall for it.
I honestly would probably end
I
up
didn't
walking
think
out
he
of
was
there
serious.
Like,
I laughed because he
Mary
like,
comes back wearing the sunshine cleaning onesie.
yeah.
We've done all your carpets.
because I was like, oh yeah, he's definitely gay. He carries around like a man bag, like he has a purse.
It's his pitch.
Yes, he had the photo. He was like, well, actually, he's like, I do this. He was like, I had like a client before I hung out with you. And,
You know, not every
Oh,
man who
yeah.
carries a satchel is a gay man, by the way.
I like that he played it off. I like that he played it off like, oh, I just came from a business meeting. I didn't totally bring this for.
But like,
for this
I
purpose.
was like, it was such a blow to my ego.
So how did you get out of it?
I was already there. Like,
No.
I
How does that once the
How does
jig
that
is up?
date
How
end,
did how did you extract yourself from that?
I was just like,
You're
yeah.
like, oh, I guess you can have the rest of my jalapeno poppers.
Well, I was like,
I'm out of here.
I was in college at the time, so I'm like, I already have enough jobs. Like, I was like, I'm a full-time student. I was working. I had just got done with Hollister, but I had my smoothies job. I was interning here, and I was just like, I'm super good.
I don't
was
need
like,
a side hustle. Thank you.
I appreciate it. And I should have known something was up because he was like upperclassman. I think I was probably like maybe. So I had just started on this show. So yeah. I was like, damn.
You're
I was
just now telling us this story? This is amazing.
I was embarrassed. Yeah, like I was like, I love
That's crazy.
Was it like a dating app or was it?
It was Tinder.
Tinder, okay.
You got
Yeah,
lured
so he
in
ju-
with fart shakes.
He just had it open, and I'm like, oh, this guy looks so good. I should have known better.
If I had
have
known that,
better.
Bill, his nickname to this day would be Fart Shake.
We can change it now, right?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I was embarrassed, and I love to have like the straight boy clout, like dudes just love me, straight guys love me. I once went on a date, and he pulled out his creatine,
God.
pyramid scheme. Oh my god,
Creatine pyramid scheme.
it wasn't creatine, it was something else.
CPS!
Woo woo.
But yeah,
Oh, that's so
but
funny.
he was like, you know who one of our biggest sponsors are? I was like, who? He was like, Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm like, great. Well, I'm sure
Cool. I live in America.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
sure
care.
we're making the same amount of money. So I'm like, yeah.
He's a hot guy. You're into hot guys, right? He's
Yeah.
trying to connect any
he was.
type
I'm
of
sure this
any-
powder is all it takes to look like that guy.
I should have never complimented him because I was like, oh wow, he's like, oh yeah, I get in the gym as often as possible. He was like, you don't have to get in the gym. He was like, but if you do, dude, I'm telling you, super easy. All you gotta do.
Goodness. That's so funny, dude.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so
That's
that
great.
when I think of like my first
See,
date,
that's
my
where
worst dates,
that's where getting lured in solely on looks screws you over.
but I don't count that as a date because I thought it was
you
a
went
date.
out and ate with
It was a-
somebody.
He thought
He
he
paid.
looked at it as a meeting. Yeah, he did pay.
He wrote it off on his taxes. You're a business expense.
But I was fully prepared. That's why I always bring my wallet, even if I get asked out, because you never know what dusty dude's gonna come up with something. After that, I'm like, I have no faith in dudes. I don't trust y'all.
Wow.
Okay, even if
Before that, he
You're
had
a grown
complete
man.
faith in guys. Yeah.
when would you go anywhere without your wallet?
I was like, you should have your.
You should have a wallet with you all the time.
But
Anyway.
I'm saying some people are like, oh, well, I don't expect to pay. So he's picking me up, he's driving me,
No.
and,
Right,
I
but
don't
still
know.
might need your ID.
I
Like,
get
and
it.
Just have your own wallet. Like I never go anywhere without my wallet.
He was on
Yeah.
campus. He goes, you know me, I'm Fart Shake.
Yeah, for Jake.
Shake.
Yeah,
All right, I got, Cleveland Winter Beer Fest tickets for you after the break. It is back next week, the 24th and 25th, right downtown. If you love craft beer, you're going to want to go. So I'll hook you up in a bit. 35192 if you want to text. Your next shot to go fund yourself and grab $1,000 coming up at 4:30.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app. The biggest